Finsin päässä, jos on joku jota ette ymmärrä, niin huikatkaa, niin käännetään tai simultaanitulkataan sitten tarvittaessa. Toivottavasti menee oikein. Joo.
So we will start.
Yeah.
First of all, we will thank you very much that we have the opportunity to come here and talk about who the Danish guy are and what we are doing. We have been here in Finland for a couple of years now. It starts 3 years ago. Now we are living in Molpe, not full time, but we are in Molpe about 5-6 months every year. And we are trying and going forward for develop this cutting reed for reed groups and for other products. And we can see when we came here, lots of interesting people were, oh, what are you doing? Because they have not seen these kind of machines we have. So that's the main point, that especially here now we are talking about the water environment, that these kind of machines that we have, they are relevant the environment because there is low pressure when we drive around. But now we will make the presentation, and so next we will start who we are. There's a little bit about what it starts. It's my dad. He started all this in the 60s. He's dead now. He's not here anymore. He's standing there with a nice Danish beer. He loved beer, but he was also good at working. And then so he was a very happy man, you can see. And then there's me, not so happy, very cold in the winter.
It's in Vasa.
And this is actually in Vasa, and I think it's really cold in Finland. So that experience we got for the 2 years from ago, that was this nearly 30 minus, so that was really, really cold. And actually, at that time, that's the first time in the history we had to stop because it was too cold. Because the chains and everything in the machinery, it was too cold. We could not. It was 30 minus, so that's the limit.
So warm.
No,
Minus.
Okay, we are cutting in the winter.
Yeah. And then there's Marius, my son. He's here. This is a picture from Maersk. He have been working as an engineer in Maersk, but he have stopped because he really think it's really exciting to come here to Finland and start this project up with the factory and the manufacturing of reed products. And then there is Valdemar. He's a happy man taking samples of the green reed. We have made this area where we have.
As a happy man, do you pay him?
Yeah.
Good salary.
Exactly.
Every month. He's not so happy every month.
Yeah. And that area is actually some reed. We also have been trying to plant reeds and harvesting reeds, and that's another project we have been going on with. So this is for sample, actually for Eurofits. They have making a lot of samples and for all these things we are doing. And then the youngest one but he's the biggest. He's Sebastian. He's there making a roof with the reed.
That's Finnish reed.
Yeah, and that's actually Finnish reed from Molpe. And there was a journalist that was there from Hoods, that's Slåtter, actually was on Bornholm last summer and took pictures of us making roof on Bornholm of Finnish reed for the first time. So we actually the first company that have been harvesting reed in Finland, cleaning them and send it like export.
And using them.
So that's what we are doing. No, that was a little bit. Yeah, what we are and what we are doing here is here we have these things we are doing. We are harvesting reed, we are making roofs, and we are making products, different kind of products out of the reed, the green reed and the winter harvesting reed. And then we have projects where we go in the summer, have been making projects in Sweden. My dad was actually doing these projects with where you use the reed for cleaning. You actually take pollute water and then you make it through the reed and you clean up the water. And that he did in the 70s and the 80s. But it was too early. But right now, actually, we can start checking all my dad's old projects, and I think you will think they're really, really interesting to use the reed and not see the reed as we just have to cut it down and under the water. Actually, the reed is a gift not from God, but from the nature to clean the water. And that's actually the reason why the reed is here. We have to reverse the thinking of the reed, that we have to take it away and the cows have to eat it and they just solid shit in the water and you get more polluted. Instead of using the reed, because when the water gets cleaner, the reed goes away. It calls dieback. And that's actually the natural thing. They knew it in the 80s, and there's a lot of books about this, that you have this natural dieback. The reason why there's so much reed now is there's so much nutrients in the water. So you have to use it, because also the best thing with the reed is that they clean up the water, but they also take the CO2 and the kulstof, what is called
CO2.
CO2 is stuck into the reed up to how many tons it is per. I think it's a lot of tons per hectare. So this thing they have been doing in Finland for the last 20 years, just crossing them. Because it's like potato. So, because you just cut it and you leave it on the ground. You have to take the nutrients, you cut the reed and you take it away. Then you got, after 3 to 4 years, you can see the water's getting cleaner. And my dad make all these projects also in Sweden, on Togan, where they find out the water after 5 years, the water quality actually have increased with 40% in 5 years.
By taking away
Just
the winter time.
Just taking away the reed. So that's a new thing, and we have also been together with the Baltic Sea Corporation for the Baltic Sea. Race for the Baltic Sea. We have also, and they also find out, okay, we have to take the reed away. You cannot just cross it and leave it. That's the problem, because then you have no benefit of the way of the is cleaning the water. So that's a very big thing, this. And if you also can take the reed away and use it for commercial business, then actually you have something that is smart. No, that's with this, and this is what we will talk about. It is we are making roofs. This is in Denmark, on Bornholm. This old traditional old houses, but there's also now new houses. You can do this. We just show this picture of the old houses. We think that's very good.
Yeah, so that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like we are cutting the reed and sending it back home and making the roofs.
So that's the main thing we are doing right now, but we hope that we can expand all the other products in Finland in the future. So now this is a little bit about my dad, who starts in the 60s, and in the 70s, my dad went to Togan in Sweden, and that's the biggest bird area in the north. And that was where they also find out, because there was a lot of, you're destroying the birds, but actually if they have made all these projects in the 70s and the 80s, they find out, together with the University of Kalmar, that the bird lives get better, the water gets better, and the fish, everything have benefit of cutting the reed and take it away and not killing the reed. So that they did in Togan.
And that's a picture from the 80s.
Yeah, this is from the 80s, where my dad sits there and cut reed in the winter time. And then now we have come here to Österbottens also as well. Yeah. Next one, please. And this is from the 60s, where my dad was together with this company in Denmark who developed this kind of machines. Some old pictures there, so they're funny. And they could go in the water without making too much disturb in the view.
Yeah, on these pictures, it's actually in the summertime that they are cleaning.
They have to make some pumps where they're pumping the waters, because if you go with big digging machines, you destroy a lot.
Right.
Here you can actually float on it. So it's a mixed bit. It can float on the water. So you go like a Mississippi, ship, you know, it goes slowly, but it goes surely through the water, and you can clean up.
And then when, yeah.
Yeah, and then a little bit about our machinery. This is Betty, the oldest one. That was actually the one that it's from the 70s, this machine, but then we totally renovated here for 5 years ago. So that's Valdemar and Sebastian standing there happy. That was the first winter we were cutting with the old machine. So
Yeah,
it's like, that was a little bit fun. That's possibly, yeah.
then the number 2.
Is our cut and collect in the summertime. You can go with this on the field where there's water, also the soft. If you were going there with the tractor, it would go about 40-50 centimeters down into the ground. But you can see here, it just go over. And you can go with about 5-6 tons on the back, and you cannot see it.
No. Yeah.
Actually, where we have been going with machine in the summer, you go with the machine with 5-6 tons, and after you try to go walk there, you go with the down to here. So that's really good.
The pressure is getting all over the machines on the big wheels that we have. You can see one wheel right there. That's 1 meter and 120 centimeter.
And then the pressure is 1 meter on that. So you can see it's actually the whole area. It's only the little area between the wheels.
Yeah.
And it's called bent. You can see we have this. Yeah. The other one is Betty, and this is bent, and then we have Svinen.
And that's the go-to harvesting machine.
Yeah, that's the big one with the 6 wheel, because then you can have much more. We can go with about 5 to 6 tons on it when we harvest it. And this is Tågern in Sweden. Yeah, you can see there's nearly no ice there. You can go on the ground. You cannot see. We have been driving there about 100 times. That's actually why we took the picture, because we go in and out there. So you cannot see. We have been going in and out 100 times. The same in 2 weeks on that picture there. So that's the difference, because we have seen here in Finland they come with this big pit machine and they're destroying the field. So that's also a big thing we have to discuss, that it's okay, they're cutting the reed, but then they just destroy it with the wheels instead.
So they destroy the biodiversity and everything for the small, you can, what is it?
But anyway, but
yeah,
this is about, so Vasa, det var Galøren, var det ikke?
Jo.
That was the first year on Galøren. Of course, it's best in the wintertime when you can go on the ice, because then you destroy nothing under. So that's the best thing for the environment. And then the last one, our Super Unica, that's the big one. It can do a lot of good things. It's an 8 wheel with a 250 horsepower common motor. So you can use it for destroying the reed totally. It takes only two years, and there will come no reed anymore. But then you cut off all the roots, everything with this cultivator, what's called in the cultivator. But it can also use for making a lot of projects in the water, digging and harvesting and so. But that's our Unica. That's a really good where you can work in the summertime. You can make channels through the reed, and you can chop up and harvesting. And right now we are trying to develop this and with the batteries and some more closed, so it's no oil, no nothing on it, so it's good for the environment.
Yeah, and that's this machine is the only machine that's been made in the whole world that we know of. So and there was our papa, our granddad was. My granddad was together with them when they made it in the 90s. Start 90s.
Start 90s. They make this actually for Hamburgersøen, if you know that. It's a big lake where there were so many reeds. But they want to take away 300 hectares with reed. So they actually built this one because they tried to the 4-wheel machinery and the 6-wheel, but there was not enough. So they built actually this together with my dad, so they could take away the reed.
Yeah.
But they just make this big mistake that they took all the reed away. So after a while they find out, oh, look at the water, we have a problem, because then it was white worms, nothing.
And
So-
no birds.
And no birds, and they have to start planting the reed. So that's what I also saw. We were in Tallinn with a big meeting with the south of Finland, and also but I said we have to take all the benefits and all the mistakes they have been doing in Denmark, Holland, and in Sweden. Finland have all the opportunity to do it right.
From the start.
Take the good things and take all the
But
experience.
we Finns, we like to do our own mistakes.
Yes,
And again,
yeah.
it's in
Again.
our nature.
The mistakes is also a progress to doing better. So
Yeah. But we hope anyway, because we can see it was one in Elkesius. I was talking with them and said, okay, have you tried to make samples of all these areas where you have making cows walking around doing this? Trying to make samples and see have it getting better. No, but the reed is gone. Yeah, but what about the ground? There's nothing there. There's still no sand. There's no life. It's dead. Of course, it's dead. But so you have killed the resource that can clean up, and it's for free. That's the most funny thing. This is actually for free. That the reed clean up the water, and it's better for the fish. It's better for everything. So it's actually what can we do is for free, but we can also make money out of it for every benefit for everybody.
Win-win.
Yeah. And this is a little bit what we use it for, how we cut it, dry it, and clean it. And we make these big balloons and put it. This is Molbe Frys. It's from Molbe, the big place there where we have all the manufacturing of making clean reed.
yeah, so you find a place and then you cut it and you like
Dry
it
Yeah.
in the big teepees that we made, and then we clean it afterwards.
This is Kogan, actually, on that picture. And it's a little bit, because it's a little bit, that's not so dry anymore in Sweden. Before it was more winter, but it's not now, so we have to dry it more. Here in Finland, actually, we can cut them dry, because in the winter time it's so cold, so all the juice goes down to the roots in the winter time.
So you can actually cut them and then
store them.
directly take it home to the storage or make it to a roof if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is this is actually the first truck we have been cleaning at the Molbe Frys and sent it away to Denmark. So that was actually 2 years ago. So that was the first summer we have sent one big truck home for Denmark. So that was a success. And then this is the roof that Vasabladet, eller det der Husdagsbladet, they were there making these pictures of this house last year. So you can see it's a good story. Also, one thing is also with this material, and that's gonna be the future also, is that you take all the newtons, but you also take the CO2 and you stock it. And when you put it on the roof, you stock it stay there, so you don't have to burn it. So you have it there for 50 years. And of course, every year there goes a little bit CO2 back into the air, but it stays there. And in the end, 50, 60 years from now, you can make pellets for burning, or you can do it, then you have another product. So it's circular is this best.
Yes.
And all the projects in Denmark and in Holland that they have found out that the reed is the material where you win every time. And now all the architects and all the other stuff that use it in buildings, because then the figures when you have to build houses is 0 instead of minus. So that's the reason, one of the reasons. And here is so much of the products we do. We're making mats. This is actually, I can see Österbottens, we make a pavilion last year with these mats for having party under the party thing. And then you also can use it for For isolation, when you make this mats, you can put it, this is from older house where you can put them directly on the wall and you just, and you are isolation and the house can breathe. And everybody knew that this, they have been taking down houses for 150 years ago when they used straw and do this, and there is no rotting, no nothing, everything can breathe.
And the climate in the house is also much better. Like you don't get like
Fungus.
fungus or smelling things from outside. The climate inside the house is much better. The air is much cleaner also. And also when you have the roof, if you make it 25 to 30 centimeters, then you have isolation extra on your roof for 100 to 150 millimeters.
Like traditional.
Extra isolation on your roof.
Yeah. And all these figures you can take into in Denmark, you know, then you have to, when you make new buildings, you have to make
CO2.
this CO2 and you have to make figures how much CO2 do you stock in the house and what is the cost and the environment, or what is called in English, the environment, the EPD.
No, EPD life cycle.
Life cycle, you have to do that and it wins with the straw. So right now also in Denmark, it's just skyrocketing with everybody wants to have roof with straw and materials for isolation and all this, yeah. Yeah. And then the final, what we do out of it, and this is the patent food pellets for cows, pigs, chicken, whatever, with the green leaf. And then we have the fleece for, you can put it back on the potato fields and normal fields, because then you put all the nutrients back and all the cold stuff back. And then there's pellets for burning. So that's what we're doing. And this part, we want to expand that in Finland also, because in Denmark and in Sweden, you're not allowed to do so much in the summertime. They are now in Sweden start that you can allow to cut. So that's happening a bit. Every time you have more than 1 hectare, you have to have permission and you have to do, it's totally opposite of what it is in Finland. But right now they open up because they know the Botnic Sea and the Österbottens and the other side that they have big problems also with the beach. So they have to open up that you can cut it. So therefore we want to, because what do you do? Can you use it for biomass? Can you use it for this? There's a lot of figures where we find out the most simple way is to make eating.
Yeah.
Because
so,
all of them
summer
is more cheaper for the summer cut. And this is for the winter cut where you can make this fleece, and winter cut also for the heating pellets.
Yeah, and the reed bundles for the wood.
Yeah,
so reed bundles, isolation, fleece, and bunches pellets is for the winter cut, and the food pellets is for the summer cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, we are done.
Okay.
Yeah, you are done now.
Well, just so we can see.
Yeah, just see how it looks like afterwards.
Okay.
But anyway, there are no more. Thank you, super. Thank you for you were listening. I hope you understand it.